If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing weather report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
A good Tuesday morning. Taylor Platt here with a quick check on your forecast. Starting off, mostly dry. Cannot completely rule out some scattered showers during the morning hours, but what you see here, we get into the afternoon. Scattered showers and storms tracking on through. Temperatures getting warm to hot once again into the lower 90s for some areas. Evening forecast on your Tuesday, still holding on to some of those showers and storms, so I would keep the rain gear on hand just in case you need it for any of those evening plans. 7-day forecast looks like this. We have a lot of showers and storms that we're working with over the next several days, I should say, with the chance at those temperatures getting up into the middle 90s once we get into Tuesday and Wednesday.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us. Established in 1915 in Tiptonville, Tennessee, the Strand Theater is one of the earliest movie theaters in the nation. 60 years ago, the Strand Theater closed its doors as a cinema. Well, thanks to the Watts family, this movie house now has new life, offering entertainment once again. Our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, will share with us some of the history of the theater and let us in on how the Strand Theater is doing since its reopening. Later on, we'll talk about Nashville PBS and the Midsouth chapter of the Emmys recently teaming up to create a day of professional development training for high school educators. I had the chance to pop in to talk with Nick Duggar, the executive director of the Midsouth chapter of the National Academy of Television of Arts and Science. Duggar explains why this inaugural lunch and learn setting for the teachers is not only going to benefit them, but their students when they head back to the classroom. We'll have that for you later on. But first, let's get a check of our headlines. Middle Tennessee schools are feeling the impact of the recent federal funding freeze. The director of schools for the Clarksville-Montgomery County School System said that the freeze could potentially impact their current budget. That is who you see here. This is Dr. Luna Vetter. She said that approximately $7 billion in federal education funding that includes programs such as Title I, Title II and III, and Title IV, along with the adult basic and literacy education, have been temporarily frozen while the U.S. Department of Education completes a review process. The director of schools emphasized caution moving forward. Tennessee's Friendship Academy is seeking a STEM teacher who is not only trained to deal with traumatized children, but who will also go above and beyond in crafting the curriculum and imparting to the students a love for their field of study. In return, the teachers will be generously compensated and will be able to get creative control of their curriculum. The Friend Foundation is now at work on its top priority over which it does have control, the Friendship Academy, a K-5 private school for the children of homeless and at-risk families. The city of Goodlettsville has implemented an organizational restructuring aimed at improving the effectiveness and efficiency of city services for residents and for businesses. How is this being done? Well, the Parks and Recreation Department and the Public Works Department there were consolidated into a single entity, now recognized as the Department of Public Services. This newly formed department encompasses 3 primary divisions: Public Works, Recreation, and Parks. And then additionally, the city's wastewater division has been restructured as a standalone department known as the Wastewater Department. The Codes Department and Planning Department were also merged to form the Department of Community Development. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need...
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
333.
Bee, oh, busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
Welcome back. So this street looks like just any street that you would find in one of our small towns here in Tennessee, but this is actually in Tiptonville, Tennessee. And the building that you see right here is one of the oldest movie theaters in the country. To tell us more about the Strand Theater and its reopening, we have our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson. The outside doesn't look like much, but I'm guessing it's all about what's on the inside.
Absolutely. It's kind of plain Jane now. And I suspect that when it opened in 1915, it was a more distinctive building on a more vibrant street. Tiptonville, as you might know, is up in the far northwest corner of the state. And you have to be going there to get there. I mean, you don't pass through Tiptonville. And it's a wonderful circumstance to have a first run movie theater in a town that little.
What does that mean, first run movie theater?
It's the movies that you would see that are being released this summer. It's Jurassic World Rebirth is the right name. The new Superman movie, Bad Guys 2. You don't really expect to see movies in a theater in a town of 3,000 population.
No.
So that's the special nature of this. And on top of everything else, it gives another activity to do at Reelfoot Lake.
You know, I mean, I can't think of anything better to do once you're off of the water for the day, or maybe if you finished hiking, to go relax, have some popcorn, and watch a new video.
Absolutely. And again, I'm repeating myself, but it's first run stuff. It's not watching last year's things or stuff that you could see on Netflix. So for a small town, it's really pretty sharp. The family that does it is the Watts family. Weston Watts is a young guy in his 20s. He's the current face of the family, but they've been doing family entertainment in West Tennessee since the 1960s. They started off with roller rinks in Milan and in Jackson.
Okay.
And then they got into the movie business in Lexington with a theater called The Princess, which opened in 1922 and it has never gone out of operation. The one in Tiptonville had a long break there where the building was basically empty. But the Watts family has been bringing family entertainment to West Tennessee for decades and decades.
I'm fascinated. Yes, you did say it had a long break, but it had quite the history from 1915 to 1965 before taking really a 60-year hiatus.
Yeah, it was a theater for that long, and then it was used for town meetings and retail space, and then empty. And the Watts family got a hold of it. They installed one of those fancy Dolby surround sound systems. They've restored a nice little lobby there with a little concession stand and some of the best popcorn you'll ever have, and went back into the movie business in Tiptonville in 2024. So it's a new activity in Northwest Tennessee.
The people in that area, were they excited to have this back? Did they happen to share that with you?
Absolutely. They're really tickled. They know that they have major attractions in Reelfoot Lake and a state park that's there, and a wonderful museum science center called Discovery Place, which is one county over. But they're delighted to have something that brings some vibrancy back onto their main street. And, it's possible now to spend a day at Reelfoot Lake, go to dinner someplace, and then catch a movie.
Is it open 7 days a week?
They are doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday now.
Okay.
So it's weekends, and it's a function of demand. So
Gotcha.
they go with what's going on, and you got to think about it. This is only their second year. They're still testing the waters.
That's true. Well, I know. Well, obviously they have popcorn. Do they have other snacks? I'm a snacker if I'm watching a film.
I remember seeing some chocolate items there. So
Okay.
It's not a full-fledged concession stand that you'd see at a 15-screen theater building, but indeed it's enough to keep you occupied. The popcorn, honest to goodness, is good enough that they sell it online.
No kidding. Okay, so we have a bragging right there.
Yes.
Bragging about the fact it's one of the oldest theaters in the country, but they have other bragging rights too.
Well, the oldest. Let's see. I'm not make sure I use their phrase right.
Okay.
They're the oldest operating theater with first run movies. And but the other thing that I know you're trying to lead me to now is Carl Perkins.
Yes.
If you're a rockabilly or a rock and roll fan, you know the name of Carl Perkins. He was one of the $1 Million Quartet at Sun Records with Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, and Johnny Cash. Carl Perkins was from Tiptonville. And when he was age 13, he wrote a song about taking his girlfriend, whose name was Maggie, to the movie. And the song title is Movie Mag, M-A-G-G.
Uh-huh.
And he wrote it when he was 13 years old. And it's a cute little song, but he talks about picking up Maggie at her house and trying to get away from there before Daddy with the double-barrel shotgun behind the door knows that they're leaving. And they're riding a mule to Tiptonville to go to the movie. It's just as funny as it gets. He didn't record it until he was in his 20s, but it's part of rock and roll history. And Movie Mag had some people cover that, including this guy named Paul McCartney.
No kidding.
So Paul McCartney's probably never heard of Tiptonville, Tennessee, but he's done a song that's rooted there.
Well, how incredible. And I'm so glad they have this back once again. So I know this is great for the residents there, for those visiting. Is it worth making a trip just to go and enjoy a film at the Strand Theater?
I think this is an add-on.
Okay.
Because you can see those theaters with bigger screens and more concessions, but Reelfoot Lake is so special.
So
you
true.
go up there, you go to a place like the Blue Bank Resort, and you stay right on the water, and you catch brim and crappie during the day, and you watch for bald eagles. That's the real draw of the area, but the Strand Theater is a bonus.
I would say that it is. And thank you for making sure that we know that the Strand Theater is there. So when we head back up to Reelfoot Lake, we have something else to add to our list of things to do. Tom, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Keep traveling now.
We'll do it. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it, but it's everywhere. illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Welcome back. Nashville PBS and the Midsouth chapter of the Emmy Awards joined forces last week to educate teachers on the latest in tools and information in the areas of media, film, audio visuals, and sound, so that those educators, the ones you see here, are better equipped to enlighten and teach students coming into their classroom. Nick Duggar, the executive director of the Midsouth chapter of the National Academy of Television of Arts and Sciences, talks to us about the need for more lunch and learns like this one.
Emmys hosts a student production awards every year. It's like a mini Emmy Awards for high school students, and it's a chance for us to reach out to the teachers and say, what do you need from us? How can we as professionals help you in your development of these students? And sometimes the requests are, we need a guest speaker. And we'll work with one of our board members like Leland Statham from Channel 5 to come be a guest speaker. Some of them need help buying equipment, so we'll try to connect them with gear manufacturers to maybe get a discount. But overwhelmingly, they all said, we don't get any training. We don't have any professional development. We don't know how to keep our skills as media teachers sharp. So we felt the call, Nashville PBS and the Emmys, to bring all these teachers together and give them a full day workshop to make sure they feel comfortable with technology, comfortable with techniques, and to make sure they knew about each other. This is a networking opportunity more than anything else. So we're trying to cultivate this community of media educators, because ultimately the students in their classrooms, they're our employees of tomorrow and our co-workers of next year. So we want to make sure they have the tools they need to prepare media production professionals for the next generation. So these are high school teachers that teach film and video and AV. They've never had an opportunity to get together and lunch and learn and do workshops and collaborate. So Nashville PBS and the Emmys have come together to host this day for them, to let them learn and explore and grow and sit through some amazing workshops. And it's our first one ever, and so far it's gone great. We have 3 rotating workshops we're going to do today, one specializing in lighting. All these kids that are shooting their independent films and their music videos and their PSAs need to know how to light this stuff effectively. So we brought in a director of photography that actually does this every day professionally, that's going to work with them on lighting techniques and terminology and color temperature. We have a sound workshop. We have an executive producer of music here today from Warner Chappell Music, who produces giant music projects. He's going to teach them about what music can and can't legally be used and where they can find music for their projects. So if their students produce an independent film, they're not just going to go to YouTube and steal a Taylor Swift track. Aaron Gant from Warner Chappell Music is going to teach them where to find legal production music, how to license it correctly to make sure that they're following all the copyright media laws. And then we have a camera expert. A local director named Tony Holt is going to work on gear, teach them about cameras and lenses and tripods and what they need to know to make sure they're teaching their students the most up-to-date technology and that they're current with everything. One of the things I pointed out was the fact that this industry moves faster than it ever has before. And there's more people trying to get into it than ever before, because every kid starts with a phone that has a camera in their pocket. They're shooting and editing at ages where I could never have dreamed to have access to a camera or editing software or the ability to shoot, edit, and distribute on something like YouTube or TikTok. So there's a lot more people interested in this field, and it's a lot more competitive. So the more tools we can give these teachers to better prepare the students, the better. This event is really about these teachers and what they need. So when we get feedback from them this afternoon, we're going to be able to better tailor how we approach the second annual to make sure they're getting everything they need from us. So it's really going to be their feedback that tells us how we can take this from good to great. But even after just 2 hours, I think we'll be doing this for a few years to come.
Nick, thank you so much for speaking with us. 40 educators from Middle Tennessee and then a couple from East and West Tennessee were all part of this educational day there at Nashville's PBS. We look forward to seeing the success of this Lunch and Learn and future ones. Thanks so much for joining us here at Mornings on Main Street. Have a fantastic Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.